Could you guys actually, three of you and one lady, do you know already about EU GDPR, General Data Protection? Sure. Then I will really be fast and just jump over it. So basically what it is new regulations from European Union that sort of is intended to make some sort of new regulations how the personal data is treated. And yeah, it's coming in force in 25th of May 2018. All the regulations are done by now, so it's now a period of time where actually the companies or even the private guys can prepare for that. So it's still 2 more years to go. The meaning why it's done now, because the last regulations of data and data protection and privacy was done by Europe in 1995. So it's, well, last century. That's the first one, and more than 20 years ago. So definitely there is needed much more stricter regulations at the moment, and how the data are used and how it will be done in future. So it's all done to purpose to actually strengthen the consumer rights, let's say, or consumer sort of protection from any usage of unauthorized usage of your personal data, meaning photos, emails, blah, 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 things like that. So, and yeah, it's a modernization of, as I told already, of 1995 data protection direction. So it's also will be spanning all across Europe. So each European Union country will be harmonizing on that. That's quite clear. And yeah, the standards are up compared to what they were before. So what it actually means, it means that everything that the companies who are dealing with personal data, including photos, videos, when they are linked to any faces, and these faces can be traced back to phone numbers or emails or whatever, the data needs to be somehow protected. It's very fuzzy how it's done, because it's at the moment it's stated it needs to be used state-of-art protection for that. That's more or less it. State-of-art means whatever. But what we understand as state-of-art is just basic encryption of everything you have. And actually the most important topic of that whole EU GDPR thing is that the pretty heavy penalties are introduced once you are caught or data is lost by your company, and it could be up to the 4% of your annual turnover, which could be pretty hefty fine. I think there is some minimum, yeah, JERZY, do you know by heart?
It's millions of euro, I think.
Yeah. If the company is big, and actually if the international company has a branch office here and they lose the data, means that also the head office will be punished, and that could lead to millions and even the billions. All right, so it's pretty scary. So you can report yourself the data breaches, but yeah, well, let's see how it goes. But so far, well, it's still not technically in place, so we still have some grace period for that. So overall, it looks quite heavy regulations, so meaning state-of-the-art, data protection, blah, 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 things like that. And what can you do to be compliant? There is no certification by European Union. You just need to be sort of, you need to know about that. So what we recommend is actually just to understand how many of personal data you are using at the moment inside your company. And you need to define the strategy for that. How in the future you're going to use them, or do you really need store personal data, and how you're going to protect these data. So there is actually two ways. Actually, everybody is thinking how to protect emails and encrypt hard drives and things like that. But actually, if the company has PCs, there are PC ports available for usage. And one scenario is just by end protection to kill all the ports. But if the company is allowing to use any USBs from 2000 18th, 25th of May, it all needs to be password protected at least, or yeah, encrypted. Sorry, yeah, encrypted. So it also needs to be all your stuff, everybody in your organization needs to be aware of that EU GDPR laws. That even if it's done by not intentionally, but somebody just loses the data, it counts as a sort of offense, and you could be penalized by that. As far as I know, they are in European Union bonds, or it's already done, that also the private persons would be held responsible for the use of data loss, which contains personal third-party data. So basically, that's a scary story so far, but we are here to help you. And so yeah, as I mentioned, you can lock down all the ports, but it's a fine decision, but sometimes you really, even with the cloud options and things like that, USBs are really convenient to use. Easy way how to transfer data, and still it's quite popular way. But as I told you, from now on, if it uses sensitive data, you need to be, that USB needs to be encrypted. All right. And then we run over to JERZY.
Hello again. Thanks for invitation. It's a great pleasure to be here with you. It's my first time. What I'm going to talk about to you is a few solutions from Kingston. How do we help in preparation of an EU GDPR? Let me just see if my demo is still working, because it's got 20 minutes of... okay, it's still on. So what I have prepared for you today is a short presentation and just a few words about the latest Kingston encrypted USBs, and a short demo as well about the management solution. Okay, so basically we have two product lines to offer. Traditionally, Kingston is the owner of DataTravelers. Three of them, DataTraveler Vault Privacy, DT2000, and DT4000 G2. DTVP is probably the latest product from Kingston. They all 256-bit AES hardware encrypted. And DT2000 is a keypad. Is that the good position for the camera, or more in the center? DT2000 is a keypad product that actually allows you to, instead of putting a password, you can use a PIN. This brings a lot of benefits. First of all, it's OS agnostic. You don't have to worry about the operating system, Linux, Mac, Windows, NAS, or TV. It will all work. It's encrypted. If you mistype your PIN 10 times, the data encryption key is gone. So next time you want to reuse it, you have to format it. And DT4000 G2 is a military standard grade military drive. It's FIPS 140-2 level 3 certified. Okay, let's move the other direction. And another product line is linked to Ironkey. Ironkey and Kingston Technology is one company from the beginning of the year. I have a few business managers who kept telling people that Ironkey was rubbish when we didn't own it. Now when we own it, we keep telling that it's a great company. So, but the truth is, you have to respect your competition. Ironkey brings a few more things to the equation. First of all, it's encrypted management console, which I'm going to demonstrate next. The Ironkey D300 is a brand new product. It's a legacy of Ironkey and the best out of Kingston. It brings huge capacity, good speed. It brings military-grade certification, a FIPS certification. Digitally signed firmware means that the drive is immune from the bad USB problem reported a few years ago. Reformats, so it's all encrypted. It will lock after 10 wrong attempts. It has a managed version as well. So one more time, it's pretty heavy. I don't know if you guys visited us at the stand, but it's probably, you could damage somebody's skull if you accidentally hit somebody. It's a really heavy duty drive, waterproof, and a fast product, tamper evident with epoxy inside. This is an Ironkey management console. Kingston doesn't actually have any management software. We rely on our data locker partner. They run two management softwares, SAFECONSOLE and EMS. That's the EMS, which I'm going to demonstrate in a moment. And that's a SAFECONSOLE, which I cannot demonstrate because we cannot go online at the same time with my own computer. A few companies we work close together in terms of management. Big guys really care about encryption and management. So just a few names, maybe they ring the bell. And a few words about two management solutions. So management actually can do a few things for you. It can get all the drives, this encrypted drive together, create groups, create policies, disable drives, reset the password without data loss, and so on and so forth. So the two solutions we offer in conjunction with Data Locker partner is EMS and SAFECONSOLE. Now, they have plenty of features, but most important difference is SAFECONSOLE integrates with Active Directory, which can be helpful for many admins. That's it's stated over there, and yeah, you can actually remotely reset the password with SAFECONSOLE by calling somebody. So if in the middle of work, in the middle of the night, we lose our password, we forget 10 times or 9 times, we want to reset without data loss. We could call administrator, and if he successfully or she successfully identifies the user, they can, with help of challenge response system, reset the password. And I think from the presentation, that's it. I just wanted to show you quickly how the management console looks like, including things like geolocation. So this is the EMS Ironkey management console by Data Locker. It would manage users and devices. Let me see if it still works. So that console requires an admin drive. So there is a requirement to have at least one admin drive and one client drive. You can create many different policies and manage the users. You can see what kind of users we've created here. That's myself, that's a friend working right now in Finland. There's many different policies you can create. And how does it look like from the management of policy point of view? Here is let's say 4 different policies. Let's walk into one of them. So basically, very important aspects of creating a different policy for different group is that you can actually identify and control things like maximum password length, the requirements as to the password, and you can also manage some other things like onboard software, secure backup. You can see not all the functions are applicable to all the drives. Ironkey had a long list of products. Kingston, when we took over, we simplified a little bit the palette. So one of the interesting ones is a silver bullet policy that actually can kill the drive if it gets stolen. the device recovery, password reset, or remote detonation. The remote detonation is not that it explodes in our pockets, which it's kind of cool, but it may be dangerous. But it basically damages the firmware of a drive, and it makes it renders it unusable. A few more things to like automatic lock after whatever time parameter we choose. Force lock, users can configure the settings or not. So that is the data locker EMS. We also, for the other product line, for the DataTravelers, we also use SAFECONSOLE and other management software owned by the data locker as well. So depending on which hardware you own, you can either not use any management software, you can use EMS, or you can use the SAFECONSOLE. So that's basically the management demo. The drive itself authenticates. When we authenticate itself to the drive, it opens up a data partition, and the drive would be visible as Ironkey secure files. I could maybe demonstrate how we authenticate. We yank the drive out, plug it back in, and basically open the files. What you can see here is just one partition for the Ironkey unlocker. The data is not visible anywhere. It works with Windows, Linux, and Mac as well. You have to authenticate yourself to the drive, of course. And you can actually create a read-only partition if you want. So that's another feature customers asking for. Can we have a physical switch that makes a device read-only? There's no need for that. And why? Because we can actually make the data partition read-only. So that's the moment we authenticate correctly to the drive, the data partition is mounted and the drive is visible, and we can copy and then paste data. Of course, the user guide is PDF is also present. This computer doesn't have a PDF reader, so we're not able to open it up. But that's basically how it works, and I think that's end of the demo and the presentation. I wanted to show the other demo, but SAFECONSOLE doesn't work without internet access. Yeah, thanks very much. I hope we didn't exceed the time. We have a few minutes for the questions, but if we can't answer that questions now, we kindly invite you to the stand. We're here all the day, and we are happy to help. I know that some of you have asked for the time of a presentation. You wanted to see us. Thank you very much for coming. And yeah, if you have any questions regarding encrypted USBs, you can either kill us now, or we can answer them anytime you want. I don't know about pricing, but the distribution partners are all here, so they are happy to help immediately. Thank you.
All right. Any questions now? Yeah, sure.
I have a question. Let's say if police sees the Kingston flash, which is encrypted, does your company can help to encrypt it and get information out of it if it's encrypted with this type of security?
We would love to help. That's a good question. I think you deserve a voucher for the party. We'd love to help the police, but we don't have any means of helping them. With other words, we don't have a backdoor solution. We don't have a magical password for the drives.
So this is like a politics for company, for confidence for your clients. You can tell them that if it's encrypted, there is no way it can be decrypted except the password, right?
That's correct. But also what we mentioned about the management software, the admins can actually take things in their own hands.
After that, you should find who is the admin of it.
Right.
Because
Copy.
sometimes you just see it and it's your USB, but you cannot do anything about it.
Yeah, good question though. If they own the administration software, the administrator, don't forget, admins can reset the password without losing the data themselves. So they control how they identify the users. That means they have to have a policy internally. How do I identify you as a company member? Is it because you know the person by physical characteristics? Is it because you know the voice? Maybe it's a lady you talk to every day, so you know her very well. You have to have a policy how you identify the users, but the administration console helps at admin server. Thank you. Good question. That's a voucher, Andres.
One more. Here you go. Yep.
Thank you. So I couldn't name that a question. I cannot formulate it exactly, but I'll try to raise a small discussion about that. So as far as I have noticed from the presentation, there were two ways how we can get the benefit of controlling the endpoint users. So first was blocking the USB ports, and the second one using the encrypted method like the Kingston USB keys. So in that sense, if you are proposing to use the encrypted USB keys, so how will you control the other users? So meaning who can use their own devices? So because we need to get connected different types of devices. So the same way for the USB keys that have been brought from home and so on.
Okay, that's another good question. The solution presented and offered by Kingston is an encryption and encrypted USBs in particular. But each of Kingston encrypted USBs offer a unique serial number, a friendly name, and a VID-PID combination. That means that a corporate that uses endpoint protection software like Symantec, SEP, McAfee, or ESET, for example, I even have a ESET on my computer, in addition to encrypted USBs and encryption on board and management software, they can also blacklist and whitelist the devices based on the unique serial number, based on PID, VID, product ID, vendor ID, or based on the friendly name we used to call Kingston drives. So you could actually enforce authentication, blacklist, whitelist, and characterize the devices. So the solution from Kingston is complementary to endpoint protection.
By the way, do you have some integration with the Active Directory in order to enforce the policies?
Yeah, so the SAFECONSOLE would have full integration with Active Directory. Yeah.
And maybe another small question. So you showed the endpoint console when it was possible to connect the USB stick, and so it was necessary to enter the password in order to get connected to the encrypted drive. So in that sense, is it protected from the multiple attempts of probing the password? So otherwise, it can be quite an easy victim for the dictionary attacks.
I don't know the question exactly. I don't know the answer exactly to that question. We have 10 attempts possible. We locked the number of attempts to 10. It can be customized to 3. So that should successfully limit the dictionary attacks. But so far, we didn't have a company who broke Kingston code, who broke into this encryption chip. And we've been working maybe more than 15 years on encrypted USBs. Actually, there is not much competition, as much we respect competition and we like them because it only contributes to the better of everyone. But yeah, it's hard. It's actually damn hard to crack these drives. It will take a lot of graphics card processor power, and by the time somebody cracks the encryption, it will be the information on board of the USB will lose value. It will take maybe 5 years, and then what would you do with this information? It doesn't matter anymore. Another good question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.